Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, y'all.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
First carry for James Conner. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards there and a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Prescott looks to throw on first. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Prescott from the gun. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And that one results in 35 yards.
First down.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for first and 10. On first and 10 is Conner. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It was Reggie Ragland who got him down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The first down run got 5. Here's second and 5. On second down, Conner looking for space. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball. and that way you often control the game.
Hey, kill! 50-27.
Prescott from the gun on third. And he finds McDonald. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Prescott into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. Short throw pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Point after try forthcoming. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
From the 31, Prescott. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now this pass to Vance McDonald complete. A gain of 6 there on first. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. Third and short yardage, Prescott. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Steelers send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Ready? Check 55, Mike. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
They begin with a run by Smith. He'll have a first down and more past the 20. And finally taken down at the 36-yard line. 31 yards there and a first down.
Okay, every now and then, my defensive bias will leak out here. Abysmal play for them. You've got them backed up, and you let them out.
Couldn't take advantage. And you know who's happy? The punter. Because if he was needed, they gave him a lot of space to work with now.
Yeah, because he would have had a lot to think about, right? Don't step over the back line and give him a safety. Now he's got room if he needed it.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me the 6.
On the run, it's Smith.
You ain't doing nothing.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. A first down carry for Smith. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
On first down, McKinnon again. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
This has been a good drive so far. It's been a running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. This is Smith. Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Switch.
They'll try the right side here with Smith. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Tremont Smith, his 2nd touchdown on the season as the Ravens push further out in front. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points. points, get that 0 off the board. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. And an alley to run. Opted to run for it. The decision, a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. Sliding out of the pocket. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The end result, 21 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Connor. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On 2nd and 12, Prescott. And he will find his man on the outside. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. They'll try and run for it with Connor. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down.
Mike. Mike. Let's go, kill.
First down, Prescott. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. From the red zone now, Prescott. His pass caught at the 4. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. From 13 yards out, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Give me that ball, defense. You're whining. 36, 36. Joker, 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 Joker. Check, 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 check.
This time Jackson will throw it. He's going deep for Brown. And he fires one that's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. Oh, and Nelson space to operate. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. And then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. A new life now following the late turnover. Maybe a chance for points here before the break.
Yeah, pretty nice situation they find themselves in because they're really maybe one completion away from giving their kicker a shot, and that gives them a chance to get some points up on the board.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. He was looking for Josh Reynolds that time. And it's 3rd down. Play fake. Here's Prescott. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see through an opening, and there he goes. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Tremont Smith
76 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. Pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game being on second half no matter what. Those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. Fielded about a yard deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Prescott off play action. This pass complete to Reynolds. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
On first down, it's Connor. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
At the 50-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Not today, you are. Not today.
Prescott now from the 50. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 36.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. A second down throw for Prescott. That's into the hands of Reynolds. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
Here we go, down to 54, right here. Here we go, 47. 25 to Mike. We go, 26.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Prescott. Flush to his right. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Here we go. Double tight, guys, double tight.
Now they try the right side here. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. Pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season as his guys are back within a single score. Boswell good with the extra point. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go, D.
Again, it's Smith. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Mike 5-4. Here we go.
They'll run on first down. Smith. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Okay, ready? 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. We own it. Magic. Go. Alert 3. Watch out. Check 24. Pick the edge. Wheel. Say, go.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 2nd touchdown on the season as the Ravens push further out in front. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they had maybe given up momentum, but not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
A try here for the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On first down, Smith. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the fourth. They go back to the ground with Smith. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one covers 29 yards. First down. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 38. They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. On second down, it's Smith. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And Howard stopped short. He didn't get there. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Nothing fancy really on either side. They were just trying to punch it between the tackles, but could not get it done.
That felt very old schoolish, didn't it? Because we always talk about how we spread it out on offense nowadays and try and create some running lanes. That one was really tight. Go get it. A big pile of bodies. Didn't quite get there.
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here.
And now look at him go. The 40, 20, 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. That a 92-yard kick return. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Yeah, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. So there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Check safety, check safety.
Smith. And Marquell Lee with a stop defensively. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now it's Smith running right. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. They'll try and run forward with Smith. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards the pickup there, good for a Raven first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
On 1st down, they run with Howard. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down.
It's always been funny to me, Brandon, when coaches always talk about on hot days like the one we have here, well, it's hot for both teams. But when one team has the advantage, when one team is running the ball really well and closing things out, it's hotter for the defense side, and they sag a lot quicker.
Yeah, they say the dog days of August, the heat we're seeing here today, dog days of September, and the advantage right now on the offensive side. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory.
Crunch. Kill. Turn it up. Kill. It's great.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Smith. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up.